you can't sugarcoat nothing. You got to just tell it like it is. And those are the things that you should be addressing, you know, as far as if you're going to run for candidacy on anything.
Me too, man, for sure. I'm so glad you came through today, Zaaqan. I mean,
yeah, well, one thing to that, brother, what you got to understand is that this country, you know, as you know, has been built on. I'm not gonna bite my tongue on nothing. You know, this country has been built on bloodshed, lies, deceit, robbery, and a lot of treachery. You know, and the leaders and the presidents and the governors that have had this country handed down to them from their foreparents, you know, is basically scripted. You know, what to do to the people, how to run a society in the way that it is. Keep certain people blind, you know, to who they are by paganistic holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Easter. Okay, you can't go in the Bible and you can't find none of those holidays in which our people celebrate. So the answer to your question, brother, is you got to ask yourself, is this whole thing scripted? Is it, you know, just something to give our people false hope? You know, is it something just to keep us falsely believing, okay, and to keep us mentally, okay, into being good workers, okay, good slaves? You never know, because you got to understand this.
so basically, you saying like we still enslaved today in a lot of aspects, a lot of workers. So say you got a factory, or like people enslaved in their minds and in the work world today still.
Oh, absolutely, brother. You got to understand that it's a mental slavery. You know,
Yeah.
and I know I don't have too much time, and you brothers can cut in on me anytime you want. It's a mental slavery. Try living in the country without a passport. If everybody was free, or if they said it was free, to free someone, you have to put someone back where you got them from. You know, if I was to go out here and catch a fish in the lake, you know, I'm not going to put the fish in a cage. No, I'm going to do it. Put the fish back in the water. So you got to kind of ask yourself, has society, has the Europeans, have they freed the so-called black man, West Indian, Puerto Ricans, okay, after all this time? And what you got to understand also is that the infrastructure of America, okay, he has built the society up so much over a period of years through lies and through deceit, okay, and through treachery. He's not going to just hand the country over, okay, to someone, okay, by saying, okay, well, there's time for change. Okay, there's change, you know, there's change throughout the ghettos of America. You know, prostitution,
change
drugs.
happens every day.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think that Barack, he's doing what he had. He's sincere. First of all, I think he's sincere. And when you talk about politics, you really don't know. All you can do is go on, base it upon what they've put in front of you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So this whole political game and stuff is like you're meeting their representatives pretty much. You never know how people really are until they get in the White House. You know what I mean? Like you really you can't judge a book by its cover, but that's all we have to go by is what they've done in the past. And I think Barack, why not Barack? That's what I'm saying. I think why not Barack? And I pose a question. Do you think people are going to vote for him because he's the black candidate? Or do you think they're voting for him because of what he stands for and what he represents?
Well, I mean, that's the obvious right there, Rick. I mean, you got to understand, you know, the so-called black man, West Indian, Puerto Rican, Mexicans, we've been looking for leaders ever since our big brother Christ died. You know, it also happens to be a black man also. Our people are feverishly looking for a leader to really mentally, okay, free us out of bondage, okay, out of a mental bondage. Okay, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, very good leaders. Okay, Harriet Tubman, very good leaders. Marcus Garvey, very good leaders. Ever since those men were either assassinated or they left the face of the earth, okay, our people has been looking for some kind of hope. Okay, Jesse Jackson. Okay, our people have been looking for some kind of hope. Okay, in someone that's going to bring us over that line and that next hurdle as far as our freedom. Okay, now as far as Barack Obama being sincere, he may be sincere. Okay, in what he's doing, but on a scope also, you got to look at it like this too, Rick. Okay, he has to answer to someone also, just like President Bush. He doesn't pull the strings. Okay?
Exactly. I definitely understand that. I mean, it's...
Absolutely.
I think that, hold on. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination saying tear him down. I'm behind Barack 100% because I believe in what he stands for. You could say I'm voting for him because he's the black candidate, but I feel like, first of all, I may be biased, but I feel like we're built, black people in general, we are built to deal with. We're built for pressure. You understand what I'm saying? Like we're built for that. Like we as people, we've been enslaved. We've been beaten. We've been torn down to as far as even further down than you can tear a human being down. And we still here, and we still fighting. You feel me? So I'm behind Barack 100%. I feel like he's built for this. And look what George Bush has done. He can't do any worse than what he's done. I feel like. And so Eddie, I just wanted to answer your question. I'm voting. I think I'm not tearing Barack down by no stretch of the imagination. I'm doing nothing but building him up, and I think that he is suitable to be the next president, and I think he'll do a great job. Now, I can't answer for Zaaqan, but that's my answer to your question on my part. Now, Zaaqan, I'm gonna let you answer that question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you, but what a lot of people don't understand is that even the presidents of the United States, I mean, they're being told what to do. Okay, by certain families of this earth. Nothing that you see as far as like even the World Trade Center bombing, stuff like that. Hurricane Katrina, the levees falling. You got to understand that it goes higher than just us going down to the polls and just putting down Barack Obama. Us being sincere, we actually need a black leader. I would want to see that. You understand what I'm trying to say? I mean, honestly, I would want to see that. Okay, but you got to understand, and you got to think, and you got to go back in history. When we was in slavery, even up under the Egyptians, and even prior to today, we've never voted our way up out of slavery. It goes higher than that.
It starts here, though. That's what I think. I think it starts with Barack. And yeah, we can't just say, "Oh, we've won." Once he's won the election or whatever, we gotta. It starts. That's a start, and we gotta be able to think the next step and take that next step. And I think this: if you're black in America, and you don't vote, I feel like this, man. So many of our ancestors died for that right. I mean, just for us to be able to vote. So, regardless if people say all the time, "Oh, my vote don't count. My vote is not going to mean anything." Our ancestors died for that. They fought. I mean, blood shed all over the place for us to be able just to vote, to have that right. So, if you don't vote, and if you think your vote doesn't count, it's bigger than just your vote counting. I understand it's political content and everything in America, and it's way bigger than just us voting. But voting is very important to me, and it's dear to my heart, But I mean, let's go ahead to another question, man, because we can stay on this topic all day. And I know we don't have much time. Eddie, did you have another question over there? Because I got one right here. I mean, it's like. So you're talking about black leaders. Do you feel like let's it's Black History Month, black pastors in our community? What about them? They're leaders. I'm not going to speak for all of them, but I think that people try to tear down the black pastors too much, in my perspective. You know what I mean? So what do you think? Do you see that same thing, or what do you think about black pastors in the community and all over the country?
Well, I can't speak for all of them. I can only speak for the ones that I encounter on TV and I encounter personally. For the most part, when someone's going to hold the Bible in front of them, you have to teach the Bible for what it is. It can't be a circus act. You can't have a 55-piece orchestra behind you. Basically it's geared toward money, getting people's money, because you know just as well as I do. You have big name pastors out here that's down in Atlanta. These guys, they do certain things. I'm not going to call no names. These guys, they do certain things, and they're trained and they're honed in, okay, on how the people react to certain things. These guys are actors, okay. These guys are professional. These guys are professional, motivating speakers, man. Okay, so when you have a black pastor, that's a very heavy title to carry, brother. That's a very heavy title to carry. You're responsible for your congregation. But if you're going to sit there, okay, and, there are certain things that that is in the Bible that the people are not supposed to be doing. Let me give you an example. Okay, I know I don't have much time. Let me give you an example. Okay, Valentine's Day. Okay, that's promoted inside the churches. You can't go in the Bible and find where it says celebrate Valentine's Day. So whose holiday are we celebrating? Okay, pastor sits right there all day long and say to celebrate Christmas. You can't go in the Bible and find where it says Christ is born on December the 25th. Thanksgiving, 4th of July. Okay, these are all holidays that's promoted, okay, by so-called pastors.
Okay. You know what, folks? Once again, you listen to Barbershop Talk with Rick and Eddie on Power 750 WAUG. We about to get into this break, but check this out. Give us a call right now. You listening out there. If you got an opinion, 919-546-9284. 919-546-9284. Give us a call. We in the building, in the Barbershop Live. He in the chair. Zaaqan. Give us a call right now. Barbershop Talk with Rick and Eddie on Power 750 AM WAUG.
Thank you, man.
No, we still on.
Oh, okay,
I mean, when we come back from the break, we're going to wrap it up.
It's good.
Come back.
It's good.
It's real. I don't know where you get these holidays from.
Yeah, I'm